What am I hearing about you and a bear?
Oh, there was a bear. No, not just a bear. A mother bear and 2 baby bears in our garden today when we woke up in our front garden. And the 2 baby bears were up in the tree, and the mother bear was just there.
What kind of
You don't get bears in Boston.
jungle you living in? What?
Yeah.
I don't have bears in my garden.
This is outside our house this morning.
So where are the baby bears?
Look there, 1, 2.
I don't know what to say, Kay.
Yeah, that's,
You need to move.
That's regular for this time of
No,
year
let
in
me
our
tell you
area.
something. A bear comes in my garden and there's 2 baby bears climbing a tree. I'm moving. I ain't even playing that.
I've got 2 of my own baby bears at home, and I think they're harder work than those 2 baby bears outside in the tree. I don't know which is more scary.
I tried to move out from them bears too, but
But you had more than 2 baby bears.
yeah, they kept finding me. They kept finding me.
We do have Luis Garcia and Stevie Nicol with us. Stevie, this is the first time I've seen your new look.
That's a weird way to put it.
No, because when you
Impressed,
came
I'm
on
sure.
tonight, Stevie, it wasn't just a beard. I thought you'd had your ears pierced. You look like you've got earrings in. Can you confirm whether you got your ears pierced in this time off?
No, he hasn't. The world isn't ready for that.
That's not happening. No ear piercings, no tattoos.
Luis, do you like, let's be honest, Luis can definitely comment on style in this show.
Yeah, okay.
He's a very stylish man.
I'll agree with that.
One of our most stylish pundits. Steve, what do you think of Stevie's beard, Luis?
Be honest.
Be honest.
Be
Luis.
honest.
But it's looking looking good. When I saw it the first time, it's looking good. But I guess it's because you cannot do it because of the arm, right? Is that right? Or is that the new style?
Let me tell.
I'm going to try tomorrow and do it. I'm going to use my right hand.
See,
So if I slip my throat, it's nice knowing you all.
For Luis to say that beard is looking all right. I'm reconsidering his saying my power rankings were all right.
No, Louise is just a really nice
If my
guy.
but it's
power
looking
rankings
good.
are
It's
anything like
looking good.
Stevie's beard, I need to
it's
redo
looking
them.
good.
No.
Stevie,
I like
just
it. I like
beware
it.
of what
It'll be
number
in my
blade.
house,
Well
it's a
trimmed.
shambles.
Beware, Stevie, of what
Rugged
number blade.
you look like that bear in Kay's yard.
Yeah. All right, Louise. First question. As a striker, what do you do when you're having the bad dry spell of goal scoring? Ronaldo might want to hear some advice, Luis.
Oh, no. We cannot give advice to Cristiano Ronaldo. We are talking about one of the top scorers in the history of football. But definitely, I'm sure he's working on what the guys has mentioned before. Try to be calm sometimes, not rush the things. You get frustrated when you miss chances. And if you are thinking about what I just missed, probably you're going to miss the next one. You have to try to focus and clear your head when you are in front of the box. And at the moment, Cristiano, because of the whole situation of the team, not playing, being frustrated, all the pressure around about why he's not Cristiano Ronaldo delivering what he's been delivering for over 15 years. I think that's frustrating because he's got that winner mentality and he wants to, I think not just the pressure of the manager, of the crowd, the supporters and teammates, it's his own pressure. He puts so much pressure on himself for so many years that at the moment he doesn't know how to deal with these moments of I cannot score a goal. And sometimes it's good just to relax. I miss it. Everybody can miss a chance. But if you are thinking about I missed the one before, I need to score this one, the frustration is going to eat you and well, you're not going to get out of that loop.
You know, the other thing, in all honesty, and this happens more times than not, whenever you're one goal away from breaking a record or setting some new mark, it was 700 goals for Ronaldo, time and time again, and this is not unique to Ronaldo at all, you find strikers somehow it just takes that time. I remember well when Ian Wright was on the verge of breaking Arsenal's goal scoring record. He went through this lean spell where he just couldn't get the ball into the back of the net, and then finally it came, and then he just couldn't stop scoring. And there are more stories like that I think you recognize, because once it's once it's done, people start talking about the records and not necessarily the 4 or 5 games that, you struggled in leading up to that record. So it's part and parcel of the game. It's just one of those things.
Maybe he just needs a goalkeeper's advice, and then in his follow-up to his autobiography, your name will be in, saying that you changed everything for him.
Well, as you know, Kay, I set Ronaldo on his path to stardom, having kindly let in his first Manchester United goal. I set him on his path.
To help with his confidence.
Exactly. He needed that. I recognized that, and I stepped up. Now I can do the same, albeit in a slightly different capacity, but I'm a giving person.
Such a giving, generous person, Chaka.
Well, glad you noticed. I'm glad you noticed, Kay.
Stevie, with United winning a hard-fought game in Nicosia against a club whose crest is unrecognised by Google, can the boys share similar experiences of playing against unheralded opposition from their careers? Pre-season is included.
Oh.
I've got to tell you, we played against. we went to Scandinavia quite a lot. We played second division teams in Scandinavia, and I've never known the name. We were there for about 3 days, and I still couldn't tell you where we were. So there's more than one for me. I just put my kit on and went out and played. I wasn't bothered what the name was.
I still don't know.
Why is that not surprise?
No idea.
That doesn't surprise anybody.
Didn't they knit you a sweater there, Stevie?
Yeah. Who do we play this morning?
No, that was in Oslo. I do remember that. That was Oslo. I do remember that one.
All right, fair enough. Does anything spring to mind for you, Luis, where you remember playing against a team that no one had heard of?
Yeah, in pre-season it's true that sometimes it can happen. I remember also in Netherlands, we went to play there with Barcelona. It was one of my first pre-season show with them, and I didn't know the teams. There were second division teams from there, and of course I never heard about them back then. So yeah, also in Asia the same. We play. I remember Marinos, but that was quite famous back then. But the other ones I couldn't remember or didn't know anything. So yeah, I guess that everybody in pre-season have played against someone that is not recognizable because they are second or third division. You are on the build-up of the season.
The only game that comes to mind, and this is not pre-season, but kind of pre-season, we played Jokerit in the Intertoto Cup.
Oh, wow.
But this, well, I say it wasn't pre-season. We'd only started training 2 or 3 days. And Harry, this is when I was at West Ham, so it should have been the 99-2000 season. Harry was just like, we're going to use this as our pre-season. So even though it was an official game, because we actually won the Intertoto Cup and went on to play Europa League football that season, it literally was 2 or 3 days after we first met up. And the thing that struck me, especially coming from the Caribbean, is this is that far north that the sun is up 24 hours.
Oh, wow.
So we had to, in the hotel room, you have those heavy blackout blinds, otherwise, you can't fall asleep. That was kind of surreal to me, as I say, coming from Trinidad and Tobago to experience that.
That's quite the experience.
It was.
Sunshine all day. Just like when Stevie Nichol's on the show. For Luis, who do you think Jurgen Klopp will start against Arsenal? Nunez or Firmino?
Well, that's a tough call, but I think he's going to start with Nunes. I think it's very important he continues giving that minutes and confidence to the player. I love Firmino, and if he starts, I'm more than happy because he gives something different to the team. But if he wants to change maybe the system because he works at the weekend and at the midweek and he want to bring more players up front with Diogo Jota, we could even see Darwin Nunes and Firmino play in the same team. But I think it's important for Darwin to play more games and start building up his confidence.
Next question, Chaka. Would you trash talk players or use mind games during set plays or penalties, and did they work?
I never saw the point of it. I think once you get to that level of the game, what can you do to put? You're talking some of the best players in the world, and then if we're talking set pieces and penalty kicks, you're playing against some of the best players in the world, and then the players taking it are the best at doing exactly that. So I didn't see the point of making, trying to play some kind of a mind game. It's tough enough as it is. Stevie,
were you a trash talker?
No, absolutely not. I'm with Shaka. Too busy getting the job done, making sure, and just all you try and do is any chance you get, you dominate them physically. But as far as trash talking, no. What a nonsense. Anybody who's affected by trash talking wouldn't be playing at that level, as Shaka says. He just wouldn't be. The trash talking's all in the lower leagues and non-league football and pub football. It's not at the highest level. No.
We just saw a very quizzical look from Luis then. I feel as though maybe you were a trash talker, or you liked mind games, Luis, when you were listening to Stevie there.
Yeah, mind games, yes. My games, yeah. But I was expecting Stevie to be, trash talker, one of those that comes to you and start big, because I've seen a few footage from him going 50-50 like proper. And I will have to expect that, because back then I think that it was a lot of fights between talking and everything. Not anymore, but I enjoy my games when you're on the field. I used to like to laugh when they got angry and have a look at them, like when they come to me and try to tackle me or going to hurt me and they couldn't get me, stood up and laugh a little bit to try to get them out of the focus and maybe try to find a yellow card for them.
A baby-faced assassin.
Actually, Luis, you reminded me of okay, we actually, you talk about trash talking, we played Tottenham at White Hart Lane one day, and Ronnie Whelan and Steve McMahon were playing in the middle of the park, and by the end of the game, Gaza was crying. He was in tears because they were winding him up so much, just like Louise was saying, laughing at him and just doing all kinds of stuff, and as I said, winding him up. And Gaza, at the end of the day, his wires are he's not wired properly. And so he took the bait, and by the end of the game, so frustrated, he was in tears. He was actually crying, running around. And of course, Macca and Ronnie were laughing their head off. As was that.
So he did have a little story in the end anyway. The next question, I've been waiting to ask this one. So I don't know if you saw this, but there's a player in League Two in England who got injured playing on his Xbox. So we've been asked a question. After the player in League Two hurt his hip while playing Xbox, what's the strangest injury story you've ever witnessed? So it can be one that you've been involved with or one that you've known of around you.
The only one I can recall, and this was quite famous back in the day, I think it was Dave Besson. I'm pretty sure it was Dave Besson, former goalkeeper, opened one of his cupboards, a bottle of something fell off, and he tried to control it as it fell, and it broke a bone in his foot or something of the sort like that.
No way.
Yeah.
Tried to control it.
Yeah, he tried. Yeah. So, but you should know.
That's
you can imagine.
Shaka, that's Cañizares. It's true. It was for the, I think, preparation for World Cup. That's Cañizares. He broke his tendon of the right toe on his
sure
right foot.
Dave Besson as well.
Yeah, it was Santiago Cañizares who couldn't go to the World Cup.
Good Lord.
Yeah. That's the one. I was remember when I saw that news. I remember that because it's quite strange to see a goalkeeper trying to control and cut his tendon and he couldn't go to the World Cup.
Wow. So that's the one that sticks out for you then, Luis?
I remember that one. It happened no weird, but I was warming up when I was in the second team of Barcelona, and at the mini study they have pits on the side for the police and cameras, and I was warming up, and as I walking back, I received a ball, and suddenly I went down. It was like 1.5 meters or something like that just before the game, and I received a big knock on the right side. It was the warm up, so I tried to play, but after 5 minutes I couldn't continue. I have to leave the game, and I stayed out of the game for 3-4 weeks because of that. And after they changed it and everything, because it was quite dangerous. But it wasn't with the Xbox. It was just before the proper game.
I bet the lads let that one go by quietly.
Hey, Kate. Bruce Grobbelaar, right? Bruce Grobbelaar. he didn't actually miss a game, but he missed almost a week's training. So what he did was he was on a night out, and regardless of who you are, if you say to Bruce, I'm the best at this and nobody else can do it, he'll challenge you. So there was a bouncer in this club, and his party piece was standing straight up and falling straight forward like that, and just as he got to the ground, he'd stick his hands out and stop himself. And so the bouncer said to Bruce, and Bruce went, well, I can do that. And the bouncer went, go on then. Now, the problem for Bruce was that he had rather more than his fair share of some drinky poos. And so he stood up, fell straight down, and forgot to put his hands out. Bust his chin. Oh. He had to go to the hospital. He had about 6 stitches in his chin. So if you ever see Grobbelaar, you'll see a little scar under there. That's what he did. He missed a week's training. He played the game on the Saturday, but straight down, bye.
God.
So it mainly goalkeeper injuries. I think we've established that.
Yeah, let's not comment on that.
It is. That's all we've got time for now, and we'll see what Stevie looks like next time we see him. If he is managing to take off the
Don't
beard.
shave, Stevie. Keep it going.
And if he returns with the man bag and the pierced ears.
Yeah, keep it going. Keep it going, Stevie.
Thanks so much for being with us. Thanks for sending in your tweets. Make sure to join us again.